with that demon voice that whispers in your ear that says, get up, you're not good enough. You gotta work harder. You haven't put enough time in. We don't like that feeling. We don't like that challenge. We like that person who says, hey, it's okay, brother. We'll take a day off, man. We'll get a pizza, watch the game. We like that. We love that feeling. Why? Because you understand, man, we're good, bro. That's the mediocrity of life. We don't want that. It's like this, hey, man, no, bro. Get your on, man. Stop being a punk. We don't want that in our lives. We don't want that person who's constantly challenging our weaknesses. It's that voice you don't want to hear. But guess what? It's that voice you need to listen to.
I don't know where you're gonna end up if you implement discipline into your life. If you start lining up tasks and smashing them. If you start aggressively pursuing your goals. I don't know where it's gonna end up. But you know what? I got an idea. Let's find out. Let's find out where it ends up. Let's find out where it goes when you implement discipline in your life and you start getting after it.
I'm talking about being self-regulated, where you don't need nobody to wake you up in the morning. You don't need no alarm clock. You don't need a teacher telling you what you should and shouldn't be doing.
You need to work harder. You need to discipline your mind better. And so many people just want it the easy way. We put a governor on our brain, the second we feel pain, discomfort, suffering, we slow down, we stop.
You want a bad life? Then we gotta have hardcore rules. No weakness. Everybody has 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts going through their mind a day. Now, the thoughts you had yesterday, you think those same thoughts are gonna come today? Yes. You know why? Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. You wanna know why your mindset's not changing? You wanna know why your belief's not changing? Because you have the same record playing in your head every day about how today's gonna go.
Every day when you wake up, you got two options. You can look at the clock and hit the snooze. You can look at that snooze button, boom. You can hit the snooze button and go back to bed and dream about what you want to have. Right there with your comfortable pillow, you dreaming about what you want to be. Or you can look at that snooze button, kick that clock and get up and go pursue your dreams. And when you embrace the grind will reward you.
Whatever you put into something's whatever you get out of it. But some of you think something gets better by bitching and whining and complaining and feeling like a little victim. You could have been that guy that had the six-pack, the back car, all the money in the bank. All you needed was that discipline to lock it in. So as I'm talking to you, you can make excuses or you can own all.
But if you ain't working for it like that, it don't mean that. You don't really want it. You gotta work. People say, man, how'd you get so big? Because I knew my goal. I knew what I wanted to be. I ruled my body. I run my body. I tell my body what it wants to eat. I work out even when I don't feel like it. I work out because it's not what I do. It's who I am. So if you want to be successful, you got to rule yourself.
You have to make a list of the things that you don't like to do. If you don't like making calls, the very first thing you should do, call a lot. Guess what happens? You get over it. You have to triple down on your weaknesses and make that become where you start to guide yourself. Okay, I don't like calling. Today I'm making 100 calls. I'm going to dial 100 times. And when you do that, that's where you grow. It sucks, but you have to continue to fight and move on. Nothing is easy, but you have a choice to make. Do you want to sit down and go back to that guy you once were? No. So this is what it takes. And every day you wake up, it sucks. And when it's over, you feel better. It sucks, you feel better. It sucks, you feel better. And as you get going, every step you take in that journey, you're beating the demon again.
Well, what do you do on the days that you don't feel like? Every day I feel like. Every day I feel like eating. Every day I feel like giving my wife the best life. Every single day of my life, I feel like giving 120. Every single day. It's because I'm counting on me. My wife's counting on me. I don't have days to waste. I've been getting up so early for so long. I've dominated my sleep pattern. I've dominated my laziness. I've dominated procrastination. That when I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, my body just clicks at 3 o'clock in the morning. Discipline. Discipline is you do it so long and so hard and you're so passionate about it that even when you don't feel like it, you still operate at the highest level. No more 50%. No more 70%. No more. I want you at 85 and climbing. And I mean moving rapidly. And I know if you guys operate off 120 with the spirit that you have, it's going to be on a whole nother level.
Don't even use the word commit. Don't even think about the word discipline. Just do the thing every single day, whether you feel like it or not. Your only commitment is to the activity, not to the grand scheme, not to the big picture, not to the implications of what it is that you're doing. It's to do the thing. Habits are the building blocks of our lives, not the goals or the grand schemes or the vision or the big idea. It's what you can do every single day that matters more than anything. Develop good habits that will carry you through to having a very successful life.
There are two types of people in the world. There are those who fight the uncomfortable and those who can face the uncomfortable.
What makes you comfortable can ruin you. And what makes you uncomfortable is the only way to grow.
Nothing great comes from a position of comfort. Safety, comfort zones are dead zones. You have to continue to push yourself.
Yes, we tired. Yes, we're hungry. Yes, the mind is saying give up. Yes, it's saying quit. But we cannot quit because we realize we have not reached the goal yet. This is not what I dreamed about. This is not what I said I was going to do. This is not what it looks like. I got to squeeze. And then once we get past that place, we become comfortable with being uncomfortable. We no longer thrive to be in the comfort zone.
Nothing worthwhile is easy to get. And if you can get used to being uncomfortable, your limits are non-existent. You're either moving forward or standing still. The choice is yours.
Hesitation allows the moment to pass, the opportunity to be lost, the enemy to get the upper hand. Hesitation defeats us, so we must defeat it. To win, all you have to do is overcome that moment, the waiting. And to do that, all you have to do is go, move. Take the action. Get out of bed. Get your feet on the ground. Step forward. Do not wait. Go forward and win. I will make every day, every minute, every second, I will make it all count. Get after it and you will become the person you want to be. And you become that person through one small decision at a time.
I want to win so bad. My hunger and appetite for success is intimidating. It scares the shit out of people. And people around me say, slow down, stop. You're doing too much. Your appetite is too big. I can't help myself. I want to win. You have to be relentless. You have to never let off the gas, never stop, never quit. Never allow anyone to talk you out of the dream, the vision, and ideas that God has sent you. Everybody laughed at me. Everybody was looking at me like, man, you just gonna leave your city to go seek a dream and seek something that you're passionate about? Absolutely. Absolutely. Do what you have to do. You gotta grind and hustle and get out of your familiar space and walk boldly into the unfamiliar so that blessings and opportunities can present itself. If it's a game of survival, we're gonna get from where we are to where we try to be.
It's not about winning or losing. It's about the whole process.
And you get so caught up in the outcomes of everything you do that you forget what it's all about. It is practicing. It is eating right. It is training. It is putting in more reps than everyone else. It is grinding longer and getting up earlier than your competitors. Win or lose, you give every single day everything you have. You leave nothing on the table.
It is that process that shapes you and forms you into a beast.
And why so many of you lose is because you think grinding is what you do when the lights are on and it's game time. You think it's what you do when the sun comes up and everyone's eyes are on you. That's not the real grind. The real grind is what you do when nobody's watching, when nobody sees you, when you're running those extra miles, when you're doing those extra reps, when you're pushing yourself to do more than anybody expects of you. It is that level of effort that forms your greatness.
When you can force yourself to do shit that sucks every day of your life, you build mental toughness. When the alarm goes off in the morning, you get up. When you have a deadline for a project to be done, you make sure you get it done. When you know you gotta study, you start studying. That's how you callous your mind. It's gonna be painful, it's gonna be hard, but at the end of all your suffering is the life you want. Embrace the suffering.
No one's coming to help you. It's you against you, period. The water's too cold, the sun's too hot, I'm getting up too early. Why am I doing this to myself? That's what the normal mind says. You gotta start training your mind to think about how the can get through this. Not giving yourself a way out. Creating a wall around all the ways out in your mind. So then your mind knows this is not going to give himself a way out of here.
Your new norm becomes getting up every damn morning at 4, 5, 6 o'clock, and you suffer. You allow that to become your new lifestyle. Most people try to get away from that. They want the comfort, but you gotta separate yourself from the pack. You have to tell your brain, this is your new life. This is who you are. Your new norm is you wake up and you suffer. When you do this consistently and it becomes your mentality, the shit that used to be hard becomes easy. You must retrain your mind to think differently when you're in hell. When something sucks, good. It's gonna make me tougher. It's gonna strengthen my mind. And it's gonna lead to rare achievements. So bring it.
When you get to that point, that's when your mind changes. That's when your focus changes. Your dedication changes.
Use the time you have right now to strengthen your brain. Push yourself to do hard shit. Come out the other side of that challenge as a beast. You gotta start thinking to yourself, I'm the grittiest in the world, and I don't need shit to get this done. All I need is the ability to grind my ass off.
Greatness is not something that you have to meet once. It's something that you gotta meet thousands of times in your life. But you don't reach it if you're not continuously in constant pursuit of greatness.
Kobe Bryant never sat there and bragged about how many championships he won. No, he was always up at 3 o'clock in the morning, practicing every day. Why do you think he was so great? It's not just genetics or talent, it's his ability to force himself to execute, no matter what's going on.
So right now, this is the time to work. You better take the short time you have now and be the best that you can be. No more waiting, no more procrastinating, no more excuses. We're gonna work! Because when you put in the work, you always get the same consequences. You get paid, you get rewarded.
People have this reoccurring nightmare that there's something, some force that's got a hold of them and it's holding them down and they can't break free. No matter what they do, they can't break free from that force. Well, I'm here to tell you that that thing in your nightmare, that thing that's holding you back, that thing that's dragging you down, that thing is you.
There are two fundamental attitudes toward life and its sorrows. Those with the first attitude blame the world. Those with the second ask what they could do differently. It's much easier and much more gratifying to your basest desires to blame someone else for your misery.
You know what's so funny? We want people to make guarantees to us, but we're not willing to make guarantees to ourselves. And that's the problem with some of you. You always want to blame other people. You owe you an explanation. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why are you only giving 50%? What's wrong with you? You need to put yourself on punishment. You need to tell you no more TV, no more snacks, no more desserts. No, we working out now. You need to tell you that you owe you something.
Every day I demand more from myself than anybody else could humanly expect. I'm not competing with somebody else, I'm competing with what I'm capable of. My number one competition is me. It's always you versus you. You gotta be the one to get up every morning, be disciplined, put in the consistent daily hard work, because that gains success. No coach, no trainer, no mentor, no boss can do it. You versus you.
I value myself enough to give 120% or don't do it. There is no excuse for not living up to your fullest potential. No excuse. You walk out of this room, you owe yourself. I didn't get here making excuses. What changed? I changed. And I stopped being a victim. I stopped saying I've got to wait for good things to happen to me. And I said I'm going to grind. I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'm going to press toward. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do everything in my power every single day to become a victor and not a victim. Why? Because I owe it to myself. Can't nobody stop me but me.
Sometimes life will take you to your knees. Sometimes you have to cry. Sometimes will hurt deep inside. In time of adversity, you don't have an obstacle to deal with. You have a choice to make.
You can suffer or you can choose to do whatever you need to do to liberate yourself, whatever you need to do to reinvent yourself, whatever you need to do to overcome whatever you are stuck in right now. It does not have to be your residency.
You keep standing.
No matter how rough the sea, you keep standing. No matter what, you don't give up. You keep standing. No matter what.
You got to be bold in life, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not bold, if you're not standing up inside yourself, if you're not willing to call into being the highest and the strongest that's within you when you're facing life's challenges, life will trample you. But see, when you discover the truth of this goodness, this power that you have within you, that truth will set you free from ever being a victim in life. That truth will enable you to handle things with a level of equanimity that will surprise you. Getting unstuck means that you are going to start living life on your terms, rather than just gliding through every day on automatic. That you have a special power within, that you know that things are going to get better for you. You know that you can handle this. And because you want some different kind of results in your life, you've got to decide that I'm going to go all out.
We decide which moments define us. Will it be the moment we get knocked down? Or will it be the moment when we get back up? This is when we show the world what we're made of.
Listen to me, you can't give up. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But if life's got you down, I need you to get up and prove them wrong.
People who operate in darkness, they are relentless. They never stop. And we have to make it our full-time job to fight back. You got to put your foot down. You got to get an attitude. You got to get fired up.
You gotta get up, look at the man in the mirror and go, this is what I'm doing today, whether they like it or not. Everybody's focusing on the stupidity things that they got on the news. Don't watch the news no more. I give you the real news. You know what the news is about today? You, and how you're gonna conquer the world.
And don't be disturbed because no one else can see it. That's not unusual. You've got to learn how to tune out the critics outside and the critic inside.
You need to change on how you look at the people, what they say to you. You gotta start armoring your mind. Start preparing yourself for what's out here in life. Build confidence, build self-esteem. So when people talk to you, it doesn't matter. That's great power in adversity. If you're a victim of any kind, make sure you use that to become successful. It's about going that extra step when you feel like you can. That's what builds self-respect, self-esteem, self-discipline, all those things. Learn to not let life hijack your brain. Don't allow all these things to make you a lesser person. You must own your mind. Don't let life own yours.
Everybody has a defining moment. Whatever your defining moment is, own it. And say to yourself, after today, I will do whatever it takes to become everything I can become.
Some people, y'all start losing and you just stop playing. You just like, I give up, I quit, we already lost.
And so you let it go. And you settle for the status quo. You settle for the easy road. You settle for, oh well.
But here's the thing. There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living.
Greatness is a lot of small things done well. Day after day, workout after workout, obedience after obedience, day after day.
You think you just gonna change the game, you just gonna change the rules. It don't work like that. There's a standard to greatness and there's levels to this.
To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
And some of you right now, you are where you are, you're giving 60% when you have 120 in you. There are those of you with a big dream but a little grind. I need you to pick your grind up. I need you to pick your grind up. There's nothing wrong with your dream. You have a great dream, but your grind does not affect your dream. And I need you to wake up every single day and I need you to use your 24 hours like you've never used it before. You gotta get tired of losing. You don't belong at the bottom, and it's time for you to get your butt from down there. It's time for you to stop being comfortable at the bottom. Get your butt up. Get where you belong. Do what you're supposed to do. Live like you're supposed to live. I made a decision. Enough is enough. It's showtime. And your grind has to match your dream. You can't play as much as you used to play. You can't go where you used to go. You can't do what you used to do. And now you gotta push your grind up to match your dream. You still fighting people. You still cussing folk out. You still laying hands on people. That's the easy fight. Now fight your bad habits. Fight your addictions now. Fight your laziness. Fight your procrastination. Take that energy now and fight to get a degree. Fight to start a company. Fight. Use that energy for something positive. And so while you talking about your haters, it ain't your haters that's stopping you. It's you that's stopping you. You gotta go get it. It might take you more than 6 months. It might take you more than a year. It might take you more than 2 years. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care the sacrifice. You put in too many hours. You made too many phone calls. You put in too much money. You've invested too much time to quit now. You've given too much. You should have quit last year. You should have quit 2 years ago. You've come too far to give up. The only thing you can do right now is go all in. You gotta create the type of scenario that if it doesn't work, you lose everything. And because you cannot lose everything, you gotta make it happen.
Put yourself in a position where you can't retreat, where it's do or die, sink or swim. Here's what you'll find out. You'll develop incredible swimming skill. You'll find yourself stroking unlike you've ever seen before. Through the inspiration of desperation, you'll become more creative than ever before.
If you want to take the island, burn the boats, and you will take the island because people, when they're going to either die or succeed, tend to succeed. You can't have that life until you're willing to put in that work. I need you to hustle until you no longer have to introduce yourself. I need you to work this business so hard that you don't have to convince anybody. I need you to work this business so hard that they begging you to get in. They begging to get on your team. They're begging to go on the road. I need you to hustle so hard. I need you to go in so hard that people start calling you and you don't have to call them.
You owe it to yourself to give it your best effort. If you get in the habit of being mediocre or doing just enough to get by, you're not hurting anybody but you. You're cheating you.
But you're giving 50% and you said it's not working. You're giving 60% and you said it's not working.
Weak people who lose, they have bad shit happen to them and they say, well, I tried, I did my best, it was this guy's fault, it was my boss's fault, and they make all these excuses. And winners do not do that at all. They get punched in the face, they sit down for a second and they say, and they get back up and they keep going. I choose to perceive the difficult days as a test that has showed up to reinforce the belief that I have in myself, to reinforce what I know about myself. And if we all approach the difficult times like that and we continue to push through, our confidence will go up tremendously. Is it easy? No. Is it worth it? Yes. Yes, your life is worth it.
It's time for you to unleash the beast. It's time for you to go inside and unleash that fire, unleash that purpose, unleash your passion. You gotta make a commitment that you'll never ever give 60%. You'll never ever give 70%. From this day forward, you give it 120%. 120%,
that's my standard of excellence, my standard of greatness. 120 is being better and bigger and bolder, going further and faster, setting goals and shattering goals. 120 is giving my all. 120 to the day I die.
You can't quit now. I don't care if you don't have the money, and you don't have the help, and you don't have the family for it, and you don't have the friends for it. You cannot quit. You might have to make adjustments. You might have to find another way. You might have to learn new things. You might not move as quick. You might not have as much, but you cannot quit.
If I was gonna quit, I would have quit a long time ago. I've come too far for that now. I will not be defeated. And I've made up in my mind that I will get a reward for the pain that I go through, no matter the price.
You could get through this, because you bigger than this, you better than this, you tougher than this. And when you get to the other side, you're gonna be better, you're gonna be bigger, you're gonna be bolder.
A person's character is not judged when they ride the wave of success, when everyone chants their name and you want to be their friend. No, your character is put to the test when your back is against the wall.
Somebody told you it was over. Somebody sent you home. Somebody told you you'll never be a doctor. They sent you home, you failed. Never give up. You don't give up on me. You don't quit on me. You man up. You woman up. You get your life back. When you come up against that thing, I'll do that thing. And you can't do it when you get there. You gotta already make up your mind before you get to cancer. You gotta already make up your mind before you get to that exam and pass that exam. You gotta make up in your mind when you're talking to your husband, when you're talking to your wife, when you're talking to that sickness. You gotta look at it before you even get to it, so don't you ever give up.
Failure has made me who I am today. Failure gives you two choices. You stay down or you get up. Well, I'm up and I am fired up because I have figured it out.
You're gonna make it. In fact, you're gonna be better. When life knocks your butt down, I need you to get back up and I need you to go heavy. When uncertainty creeps in, I need you to get up and get right back on the thing that knocked you off, and I need you to go heavy on it. When something doesn't turn out the way you want it to turn out, I need you to attack the very thing that didn't turn out the way that you wanted it to turn out, and I need you to go heavy on it. You don't judge a person by where they stand in times of comfort and convenience. You judge them by where they stand in times of challenge and controversy. And when you work for something, it gives you a different type of attachment to it. The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. That's why cats can give up so easy. They ain't got nothing invested.
When people die, when people get sick, when something happens in your life, if all you're doing it for is a car and a house, that can stop you. But if you're doing it for your mom, for your siblings, for your family, for your community, nothing can stop you. You cannot be broken. When you have an intrinsic goal, when you're doing it because you value it, when you're doing it because you can, when you're doing it because it represents who you are, when it's internal, no mountain, no trial, no tribulation, nothing can stop you.
And no matter what you walk through, no matter how broken your life is right now, no matter how many times you failed, there's a power within you that's stronger than whatever's going on around you. So I'm not retreating, I'm not running, I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna win.
I got here not because I'm the strongest, not because I'm the fastest, not because I'm the best, but I kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And I just made up in my mind, I'm gonna get through this. You are not gonna stop me. I got too far. I've come too far to give up now.
Regardless of what happens to you in life, regardless of the adversity, regardless of the opposition, regardless of the trials and tribulations, nothing can stop you. The only thing that can stop you is you.
You want affirmation? Look yourself in the mirror and say, I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I know I can. Do whatever it takes. You your biggest driver.
I don't have that natural beauty or that natural talent or this gift for creativity or intellect or humor. I don't have any of those things. But what I got is I will outwork you. When it's 45 on the treadmill, I do 46. When it's supposed to be 20 phone calls, I make 21. When it's supposed to be an 8-hour workday, I work 9. Whatever it is, I always do one more. And what that does is it makes me eventually think I'm doing things other people aren't willing to do, so I should get things other people aren't going to get.
You've got to understand, it's not about what you were born with. It's not about what you were given, where you started, or even where you're going. It is entirely about what you plant at the center of your soul. How hard you're willing to go after something, how much focus you're willing to put in your life, and how often you come back to that level of intensity for who you want to be.
You have to make a decision that nobody in your position will outwork you.
Some people run faster, swim better, but mentality is mentality. You're not gonna outwork me, so I'm gonna catch up somewhere.
If you are not that talented, you can beat them with time. You can get to the spot before they get to the spot. I do things to separate myself from everybody else. The passion that I have, the grind that I have when I do what I do. I got a different motor. I got a different grind.
I'm always going to give it my 110%. That's the only thing I can ever say a solid day's work. If you guys do not do that, I promise you, your life will haunt you for the rest of your days.
From today on, you play whatever your best game is, you play that level every single time. It doesn't mean you're going to score every time, but you can always give 120% effort. You can't dictate what kind of game you're going to have. You can't dictate how your body is going to respond to moving around, but you can dictate your effort. Your dream comes when you push. Ain't nobody gonna give you no cookies and ice cream. Push. It's alive. It's inside. How do you know you feel it? You dream about it. You eat and sleep it every day. So push. Just push past the pain. Push. Don't quit. Push. And you push your way to success. You have a chance to control your destiny. All of us are created equal. Some of us just work harder. Some of us just grind.
Some of us don't make excuses. Some of us don't give up and give in. What we do with the pressure is we say, I gotta take it, and I gotta take it to another level. You get a breakthrough when you fight. That's the hardest part, because the breakthrough, that last 10%, is all mental toughness.
It's time to unwrap the potential you be. It's within you. And the people that have risen to that level were no different than any one of us.
Everybody wants to be a beast. Everybody wants to succeed. The challenge becomes that most of us, when it's time to do what beasts do, we don't do it.
Anybody can go to the gym when they feel like going to the gym. Anybody could show up to work and give 100% when they feel good about what they're working on. But what makes successful people successful is what they do when they don't feel like it.
I find it amazing how a cat can say they want something. A cat can say, man, I'm all in with you, let's ride. And then conditions and circumstance change. And the words that they once spoke means nothing to them. Like commitment is staying true to what you said you was true to long after the mood that you set it in has left. Meaning on the days when we don't feel like doing what we once said we was going to do, we going to step up and we going to do it anyway, because those are the days that build character.
Get over your feelings, because feelings go up and down. For some of you, you're too seasonal. When you're excited, the first week, the first month, the first 3 months when you got that job, you were excited, and so you was putting forth effort. You were there on time. You was leaving late. You was doing everything they told you. Now you got comfortable, and you're not excited no more. And guess what happened? Your effort has gone down. Your problem is you know what your best is, but you can't produce it consistently. You're your biggest problem. Everything is external that moves you. Now I want you to start moving yourself internally. I want you to be able to push your buttons. You control your feelings. Don't nobody else control your feelings. So when you tell me I ain't feeling it no more, it don't got nothing to do with something external. It's something internal that you ain't pushing no more. You don't have to be excited. You made a commitment to that job, and commitment said, I don't care how I feel. I don't care if I'm excited. I don't care if I'm pumped up. I don't care if I'm fired up. I'm doing this because I made a commitment. Now it's time to put up. It's easier to watch greatness. It's easier to go see greatness than it is to put in the time, to put in the energy, to discipline yourself, to sacrifice. It's easier. And so that's why you average. That's why you don't want to wake up in the morning. That's why you pissed off with Monday, because Monday is the day that you're supposed to go mold and shape and create your greatness. That's why you like Friday. I get it. Because Friday you get to chill. You don't have to face yourself on Friday. You don't have to face yourself on Saturday, on Sunday. That's the day that everybody is partying, everybody's drunk, everybody gets to forget that they didn't become who they were supposed to come during the week. That's why. But I challenge you. I challenge you to go from average. I challenge you to go from good. I challenge you to go from great. And I challenge you to be phenomenal. I can't make you stop hitting the snooze button. I can't make you wake up. But I dare you, I double dare you, the next time you get up in the morning, I dare you not to go back to sleep. I dare you to get up, and I dare you to chase your dreams, because beast mode makes more money than average does. We're not gonna wait. We're gonna do work. We're gonna put in work, because every time you put in work, you get the same consequences. You get paid. You get rewarded. Your mind wants to go to a nice spot where you're comforted, which is easy. It doesn't want to think. You have all these things in the mind, and the mind can only absorb so much. So all the pain it has to go through, it wants to push it away, so let's not do that. So every day I'm fighting with a mind that wants to go. I've never arrived. You have to live that way. You need to be in a spot that's hungry. Work out every day. Better yourself every day. Suffer. Go back to a spot that's not so comfortable for you. What did you do today to get uncomfortable? What did you do today? I don't give a what you did 20 years ago. If you can get through these different barriers and gain 2%, 3%, 5%, that 40% becomes 60. That 60% becomes 70, 80, and 90. And then you'll hopefully one day near 100. You got to come out your comfort zone, because your comfort zone is the deadliest place you will ever be. If you don't grow, you're dying. If you do not expand your business, expand your life, expand your mind, if you don't push to grow, you're dying. You should never feel comfortable. You should be happy and dissatisfied. You should double your business, triple it, because the attempt to get more makes you into something better. If you can find a way to push through pain, there's something great on the other side of it. And until you come out your comfort zone, you will never touch a certain level of greatness. If you stay stuck in your comfort zone will keep you living a mediocre life. You want to touch fine things in life? Leave your comfort zone. You're going to be intentional. You're going to be deliberate. You're going to be strategic. That means that there's not a day that's going to go by. There's not an hour that's going to go by. There's not a minute that's not going to go by that is not accounted for. I'm not talking about putting forth effort because your coach told you to. I'm not talking about doing your homework or coming to class on time and sitting up front and giving 120% in the class for your teacher. No. I'm not talking about your boss. We're not talking about outside no more. Now we're talking about an inside job. I'm talking about putting forth effort for self-pride, self-respect. I'm talking about doing it for you. I'm talking about at the end of the day, you being able to look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm proud of myself. You do it for you. You need to be able to step back and look at your work and say, it is good. You want to feel good about yourself because you put forth every single fiber, every single effort that you have, you putting it forth. You're not hearing what I'm saying. You're not staying long enough to make something happen. You're not there long enough. You're not studying long enough. You didn't read a whole book and got what? I'd rather for you to read one page 100 times than read 100 pages once. You can't get enough from reading 100 pages one time. I'd rather for you to read one page 100 times, and I mean consume it in your life right now. The reason why you're not successful, you all over the place. You just taking the axe and just swinging it, and you wonder why you're not getting the results you want. Because what real students do is sharpen the axe first, and then they don't just hit the tree 1,000 times. They hit the tree 1,000 times where? In the same spot. You hitting it all over the place. You need to be intentional. You need to be deliberate about your thinking. I need you to think about what you're thinking about. Because where your focus goes, your energy flows. You concentrate on winning. You concentrate on dominating. Nothing needs to change but your mindset. I don't need knowledge. I need specific knowledge. Stop thinking you deep because you reading and you studying. No, you need explicit knowledge.
They focused on the target. The target is not the activity. The activity can change. It's what's the result I'm after. Clarity is power. The more clear you are on specifically what you want, the faster your brain can get you there.
True winners, they never lose focus. They always focus on the goal. They always focus on the process, and they always focus on being the absolute best that they can.
The reason why you stop and start, and you stop and you start, is because the goal is not meaningful enough. Who you doing this for? That person that you think about has to be louder than the snooze button. So when you think about Granny, you gotta think about, do I hit the snooze button or do I get up and make it happen for Granny? It's not just about you. When you finally go after the stuff that you are afraid to go after, that's the stuff I'm talking about. I'm talking about going after the stuff that scares you. What are you going after? Or better yet, why aren't you going after it? All I need you to do is declare that yesterday was the last day that you were a loser. Like yesterday was the last day you expected to come up short.
You do the work now, and all that you could ever want to do for your family, your kids, your loved ones, it's all going to be on a whole nother stratosphere.
I made a decision, Pat, I truly want to find out what you're capable of if you're fully focused. Anytime in my entire life, I've been 100% focused, I've always won. Anytime. You have as well, by the way. So if you think about yourself, go back at any time in your lifetime, you've been focused for 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, guaranteed you won because it's a formula. And I knew most people weren't going to do it. I knew most people would get discouraged. I know most people would get distracted. I know most people are going to say, I have family issues, health issues, market issues, this isn't for me, it's not my passion. It's all this stuff that they make up because they simply don't want to do the work because they're frightened of the work. Now you don't have to be that. Most people have half their life all the time. I knew they were going to get tired. They were going to flinch. They were going to get down. They quit improving themselves. They start sleeping in. They spend all their damn money. I'm not going to do that stuff. I'm going to save money. I'm going to get up early. I'm going to stay relentless.
I don't alter my mission ahead. No one's with me, because I don't allow them to. It's got to be that way. It's got to be unconditionally focused.
I don't care about the party. I don't care about TV. I don't care about any of this stuff. 100% focused. I am not going to get distracted.
And every day you try to master it, be the best you can be.
Practice only makes improvement. Perfection doesn't exist. You can always better your best. You have not done your best work yet. Long as you're here, you have a chance to transcend yourself.
Meditate on this stuff. Focus on this stuff. It don't mean negative things won't happen, but we're not focusing on it. We're going to focus on what's positive. We're going to focus on what's good. And when we focus on that, that's where our energy is going to go. I need you to take ownership of your thoughts.
Own your life, guys. You have every opportunity. There's no excuse not to be the hardest worker in the room.
I I guarantee if you put the right energy, the right effort, the right focus, it's only a matter of time.
We're all faced with a time of challenge and controversy. Adversity causes some cats to break and other cats to break records.
There's times where you're gonna have to do it alone. There's not gonna be any team support. There's not gonna be any family support. There's not gonna be any friend support. There's gonna be times where you've got to go and do it yourself, and you gotta do it alone. And those are the times that make a difference. Those are the times that count. Those are the times where you have to dig deep yourself to get the job done.
And the type of commitment that I'm speaking of is the commitment that says, I am going to stay true to what I said I would do long after the mood that I've set it in has left.
Because there's some things you just can't get without perseverance. And you're gonna have to fight and fight and fight and fight. And most of you won't be successful, not because you can't do it, but you can't outlast your old you long enough to get to your new you.
And the difference between winners and losers is how we adjust to these hard times. Winners, they understand that the path they've chosen is going to have resistance. They look at it as, well, yeah, I'm tested today, and you know what? I'm gonna pass that test. And whenever they have the hard thing that happens, and then they overcome it, they gain more confidence because they overcame something that the previous version of themselves or the rest of everybody else would have just quit when it happened to them.
Things are gonna get harder, things are gonna get tougher. That's the way life works. What you need to do is you need to get harder and you need to get tougher.
Nobody gave me this, I earned it. Life wasn't a crystal stair for me. Didn't nobody give me a network, I earned the network. Everybody say, E, how did you crack the code? I grinded my way through the code. That's how I cracked it. I got up every day at 3. Monday I grind. I ain't never give in. I just keep grinding. There's certain things when you're privileged that mama can buy you, but you can't buy grit, and you can't buy grind, and you can't buy resilience, and you can't buy heart, and you can't buy that dog. I don't care where you come from, I want you to be the best at what you do. You don't need this, or that. All you need to be successful in this world is that dog. You gotta wake up every day and compete. You gotta go after it. Everybody said you don't read well enough. You're not a critical thinker. I'm not, but I'm a beast. You ain't gotta be smart when you a beast. You ain't gotta be the most talented when you a beast. You ain't gotta be the most talented when you got that dog. You gonna have to play hurt. You gonna have to play when stuff is going on. It's at work that separates the boys from the men. Are you ready to do the work? Are you ready to put in the work? Stop whining, stop crying, stop asking. I want your work to go before you. Everybody want to be a beast till it's time to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Everybody want to be number one till it's time to do what number one do. I'm about that life. I get up every morning at 3 o'clock. When I want to get up, when I don't. When I feel like it and I don't feel like. Why? Because I'm process driven. I'm not feelings driven. Champions are not feeling driven. Champions don't get up when they want to. There is a championship coordinate and you can't change that. You gotta be intentional and deliberate. You gotta decide that you're gonna do something and you gotta do it every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday. Consistency is having a goal, and when you wake up that day and you don't feel like it, you still do what you told yourself you was gonna do. It is the days you don't feel like doing it, but you look at your wife, you look at your kid, and you realize, I gotta get up and make it happen, even though I don't wanna get up and make it happen. Set the standard, then raise the standard, then uphold the standard every single day. If you're not willing to do it every single day, you're not going to beat the man that's doing it every single day. Some of you like, that's too much. Well, you're not going to be a champion. You're going up against other champions? You think you're going to get 50%? You think you're going to get 70%? And you want what these people who's giving sweat, who's giving blood, who's giving tears, you want what they paid for, and it ain't free. I'm not the best. They better than me, but they have not outworked me. You might be taller than me. You might be bigger than me. You might be stronger than me, but I'm coming, and I'd rather die trying. I'd rather give everything I got. I'd rather give a year. I'd rather put in work and fail to not try it all. The real beast is the last 4 minutes. The real beast is when their legs give out. The real beast when they tired. The real beast find a way to pull something out when nobody else ain't got nothing. Some of y'all soft. There's no better word for it. You're soft. You want to be a champion, but you don't want to work like a champion. I dare you to give 120% and stop choking. The good part of you know you can go to school and get a 4.0. The lazy part saying we ain't getting up today. Stop calling other people haters and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm hating on me.
You're going to have to commit at another level to discipline, because fruit only comes through consistency. Without discipline,
you're available for attack all the time. Without discipline, you're indoctrinated with insecurity. Without discipline, you're overwhelmed by anxiety. Without discipline, you're not prepared for the future. There's got to be some type of discipline attached to whatever you want deliverance in.
And to get to the next level of success, you can't just have energy when you got energy. You're gonna have to learn to be disciplined.
Your mind will always choose the path of least resistance. We have to train our minds to choose the path of most resistance.
You will get tougher every time you push through. You build strength, not just physical strength, mental strength, tenacity, will. You're not just born with will, you create it, you develop it through effort. And every time you put forth effort, your will, your discipline becomes stronger. And every time you quit, your will and your discipline gets weaker. Do not allow that. You cannot allow that. Every rep counts, not just in the weight room, but in life.
And so I'm looking at the clock and I'm saying, technically, you can go back to sleep, technically. But if you go back to sleep, you might not wake up to 3:30. You might not wake up to 4 o'clock. And if you wake up at 4 o'clock for 30 minutes of sleep, you might be pushing your goals back a week, a month, an entire year by sleeping for 2 hours because you missed an opportunity. You gotta wake up every day and you gotta go get it. Execution is not something that we do, it's something that we are. And most of us aren't disciplined. Because if you don't have personal discipline, you'll never get to the next level. If another human can tell you to get up and go to work and do what you're supposed to do, you be that human. Your mind is the most important thing you have, and you gotta control it. You gotta move you every single day.
It doesn't matter how I'm doing. It doesn't matter how I slept last night. It doesn't matter how I feel. I don't care how it feels. I don't care if it's easy or hard. Don't care. Go through the motions. Get it done. Don't voluntarily do anything tomorrow that you should be getting done today. Get it done today. You gotta get control of your brain. Control the things you think about. You can actually control how you feel. You can control what you think. And you can definitely control what you do. You gotta be the master of your mind.
You have got to suffer to grow. And that starts by not hitting the snooze button. It starts by waking up. No, you don't want to do it, but that gives you the strength because you did it. If you do something you don't want to do every morning, you're already giving yourself the proper dialogue to attack your insecurities, to attack what the world's going to give you. You have to attack. You have to keep attacking. If you keep on attacking something, nothing wants to stand in front of anything that is relentless. The enemy has to know he is not going to give up. You must break the soul of whatever that's in front of you.
All of us can go buy a car, but all of us can't get up in the morning and grind. You gotta win in the dark before you can win in the light.
I want to win the war in the morning. I clean my room, I clean my house, I go for a run, I work out. Because the second I leave my house, the second you look at your phone, the second you turn the TV on, you're in a battle. All this negativity is coming at you. But if you're able to fuel yourself in the morning, win the war in the morning, so you have the strength to face what you're going to face in the world.
Discipline is doing what you said you were going to do when you don't feel like doing it, when you felt like doing it in the first place. You got to discipline yourself, and you got to learn that when you don't feel like it, you must still do it or actually go harder when you don't feel like it. Because out of 365 days, there are going to be days you don't feel like getting up. There are going to be days you don't want to work out. There's going to be days that you don't want to practice. There might be days you don't even feel like getting in the game. You're going to wake up most days and not be pumped up. You're going to wake up most days and not feel like doing it. But when you can get to a point that you do it anyway, then there's no way you won't reach any of your goals.
Are you gonna get burned out? Yeah, I get burned out, but that doesn't mean I don't still do the thing I need to do. It doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter what you feel like. It doesn't matter how frustrated or angry or depressed or upset you are. All that matters is that you do what needs to be done on a daily basis over and over and over again. And if you do that and it gets done, you're gonna feel a lot fucking better about your life than you do right now. How you feel about your life at the end of your time here is going to come down to your ability to cultivate discipline. It's going to come down to you developing the ability to do the things that you don't feel like doing because you know that it's the right thing to do.
With success, many will love you. The majority will despise you. And why is that? Because your success is shining down their missed opportunities. And they did it with all those thousands of hours in the lab with no one watching. So when the opportunity did come to show off what they've mastered and trained, they weren't ready for it. They were in a self-controlled state, and they watched it go live, hoping it comes again. I don't know if it comes again.
What do you do about the negative person talking behind your back and trying to bring you down? Ignore and outperform.
Use it for fuel. Use it for energy. You got to block out them haters, man. You got to block out them naysayers. Use everything this world has to give you for fuel.
So I want some action. That means when you wake up in the morning, there's 24 hours in a day. After you finish sleeping, I'm telling you to spend the rest of that time in action. And you're going to separate yourself from everybody. Why? Because most people, all they doing is talk, 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 talk.
You don't get to be number one by doing just enough. You gotta have a level of dedication that no one else is willing to have. And you gotta want it more than anyone else does.
If a person leaves at 6, you leave at 8. If a person makes 100 calls a day, you make 200 calls a day. If somebody practices 3 hours, you practice 5 hours. If somebody practices 6 hours, you practice 8 hours. If someone reads 2 books, you read 4 books. Just do a little bit more.
You are going against the cultural norm of average, the cultural norm of sitting up, the cultural norm of all of this average. When you go against that, you are going to naturally have resistance.
We have 80% more that we're not tapping into, because in this other 80% is suffering, pain, failure, darkness, and then a whole bunch of light. But to get to this light, you gotta go through all of this.
If you really want your dream to become a reality, you need to give it up and go all in. And you are not here because you are still not all in. When you give effort, don't give no 70% away. You give 120%. Extreme effort. Why? Because I'm counting on me. My wife's counting on me. I don't have days to wait. You're not giving 120. You're giving 60. You're giving 50. And you won't with these people who've given sweat, who's giving blood, who's giving tears. You want what they paid for, and it ain't free. When I put forth 120% effort, can't nobody stop me. You can't be good and be a legend. You can't be great and be a legend. You gotta be phenomenal. I want you to push for legend. Your problem is, if the conditions are great, you great.
When everything is favorable, you a beast. But when the conditions ain't right, you get smacked in the face. You gotta grow up.
We tell you something about the greats, we find a way to make it happen.
The hard life is the one that pays. You just gotta quit being so fucking weak.
You gotta be a morning person, afternoon person, night person. You gotta be when you feel good person, when you sick person, when you tired person. Can you give me 120 and despite everything that's going on, greatness is in you. But the problem is, somebody's gotta push you. Somebody's gotta give you a reward. Somebody's got a project. You're not self-motivated. You have to stay in beast mode. You don't get here by quitting when you're tired. You get here by quitting when you finish, when you're done. You don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're done. You stop when you complete it, when you execute it. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. Every single day, if you do what you say you're gonna do, you're gonna get what you dream to get. You gotta execute. You gotta execute. Execution is worship. If you want 120% results, then in every single area you're looking for this dream or this goal to become a reality, you gotta put forth the effort. I didn't get here being lazy. I didn't get here binge watching TV. I didn't get here taking days off. I didn't get here off being smart. I didn't get here being talented. I got here off that dome. I never quit. I never stopped. I never gave up. We just kept doing what we doing. You got skill and you got will. Two total different things. You were born with certain things, but to get to the next level, to stay at the next level, you gotta have will. You have to compete. Every single game, you can give the same effort every game. This has everything to do with pride. You gotta take pride in that.
Your level of urgency and effort will dictate the level of changes you'll see.
Each level of hustle, of will, of action, of work is going to get you to a certain level, and then you're going to require more. It's going to take you evolving. You're going to have to expand. You're going to have to think differently. You're going to have to do different things. You're going to have to put in more work. You're going to have to read more. You're going to have to educate yourself more. You're going to have to do things
things that are gonna help you create a new you.
See, it's easy to be on the bottom. It doesn't take any effort to be a loser. It doesn't take any motivation, any drive in order to stay down there on a low level. But it calls on everything in you, ladies and gentlemen. You have to harness your will to say, I'm going to challenge myself.
I just want you to go a little harder, put forth a little bit more energy, give me a little bit more effort. You keep going. You keep studying. You keep writing. You keep singing. You keep rapping. You keep boxing. You keep dribbling. You just keep on keeping on. It's your life. You are the captain of your ship. You are the master of your life. You can have it. You can do it. You can be it.
Make a list, execute the list, do that every single day for the next 10 years, and you will be where you want to be.
Life will hit you with all sorts. It will bring you to your knees. You will fail. You will likely fail often. It will be painful. It will be discouraging. It will wear you down, break your spirit, force you to quit. At times, it will test you to your very core.
The storms will come. There are times when the nights will be long and dark and you will be alone.
We're in a place that it feels like nobody else is in this place. I'm here all alone, and I did not see it going like this.
There will be times when the darkness seems to consume everything, but don't let it consume you.
You must be your very best in the darkest moments. You need to be calm. You must be composed. Your physical power and your inner strength must be brought to bear.
Right now, you're being tried. You're being forged. You're being tested by fire and by pain. That's the test. Don't fail the test. Don't give in. Don't quit. Don't ever quit.
The deep is not for a devastation, it's for preparation. The darkest and deepest places of my life have prepared me for the greatest victories of my life. When your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow.
It is literally at the darkest moment when it dawns. You don't really even get to the next level to your darkest moments.
No matter what you've ever been through, you had to go through it to get right here.
So that's why I'm saying stop tripping when it get dark and you running. You running from your success.
And I'm telling you, when you come up against that thing, you gotta outdo that thing. And you can't do it when you get there. You gotta already make up your mind before you get to cancer. You gotta already make up your mind before you get to that exam and pass that exam. You gotta make up in your mind when you're talking to your husband, when you're talking to your wife, when you're talking to that sickness. You gotta look at it before you even get to it.
Speak to your soul, say don't give up. Speak to your mind, say don't give up. And I don't know who you are and what's been pressing you, but I'm begging you, don't give up. Don't give up because it's hard. Don't give up because you can't see the future. Don't give up because it hurts. Don't give up no matter how bad it is. Don't give up in that place no matter how bad it hurts. Don't give up even if others gave up. There's something on the other side of this for you.
Come on, you need to remember, this is not your first rodeo, cowboy. This is not the first time you cried. This is not the first time you were short of breath. This is not the first time you didn't see a way clear. This is not the first time you were hurt. This is not the first time your heart was broken. This is not the first time you didn't have enough money. This is not the first diagnosis that came out from behind. And we will get through this. We will get through this.
I don't care how hard it is. I don't care how difficult it is. I want you to practice. Never give up and never give in. Why? Because some skill not gonna get you through certain things, but phenomenal will allow you to get through everything. Buster Douglas got past Mike Tyson. Wow. Mental toughness. Muhammad Ali got past George Foreman in his old age. Mental toughness. So don't you ever give up. As long as you got breath in your nostril, don't you ever give up. Don't you ever give in, because I never told you it would be easy.
but with mental toughness, you can get it done.
It's a portion of heart, a portion of will, and an unyielding dedication to see that through. I can tell you how it's hard to get off the couch and take that one step towards greatness. I can tell you how hard that is. I can also tell you how hard it is, 10 times harder, looking back on your life as time expires knowing you could have been great. I can tell you how the worst failure in life isn't the person that fell down, it's the person that never got up to try. There's a million examples on how failure is made. Success is written every single day. Planning it out, having everything in line to ensure success. Thinking before acting. It's always the last inch that matters the most. Both of them are just as valuable as this one, where our will is shutting down, our desire is shutting down, failure is setting in, the pain's increasing. Right now when it's hurting, do we go on or not? Do we welcome it, or do we run from it?
Every storm has an expiration date. No matter what storm you're in right now, that at some point, the winds, the waves, and the rain have to subside.
No matter what is happening, no matter how hard the fight is, as long as you keep fighting, you win. Only surrender is defeat. Only quitting is the end. Because the darkness only wins if you let it. Do not let the darkness win. Fight. Fight through the storm. Fight through the pain, and you can get out of the storm, and you will get out of the storm. And when you get out, you're gonna see the sun again.
It will not be easy. Know that life is not fair and that you will fail often. But if you take some risks, step up when the times are the toughest, face down the bullies, lift up the downtrodden, and never ever give up, you will succeed.
Everyone climbs a mountain, and right when they're like, I can't go anymore, that last inch is gonna make all the difference. And they give up. It's because one, they had a bad plan of action, but two, they've lost the motivation. They're not seeing the visual representation of their effort being put out, so therefore they're like, I'm done.
You are going to come up against some moments in your life. I've been there. You're going to come up with some moments in your life. Somebody told you it was over. Somebody told you that just go home and die. Somebody sent you home. Somebody told you you'll never be a doctor. They sent you home, you failed. They sent you home, law school. They sent you home. Some wife, she told you, that's it. I don't want to be married to you. Some husband, he told you, I don't want to be married to you. And he left. Never give up. I need mental toughness. It's no reason to cry. It's a reason to build. It's a reason to get stronger. It's a reason to get more intense. It's a reason to get better. You need one more thing, one more check, one more something to put yourself in a position where you get higher. I don't care if it's fair or not. It's what you gotta do. You can get through this. Because you bigger than this. You better than this. You tougher than this. And when you get to the other side, you're gonna be better. You're gonna be bigger. You're gonna be bolder.
You guys are saying you're doing everything right. You're giving your all. Come on. Your all is a lot more than you know. You got more inside of you to give. Stop selling yourself.
We've come too far to quit now. When you're in the darkest place, when you feel like all is lost, when you think there's no way to turn it around, remember this. Victory is near.
I don't care if you have to inch your way day by day, and it hurts, and it's hard, and nobody can see what you're really going through. If you don't quit, the pit will become your platform. I'm telling somebody right now, your lowest moment, the place where you were that broken, will be the place of your greatest testimony.
I am not phenomenally skilled, but phenomenally will. I will not give up. I will not surrender. I will not quit. And your problem is you're giving up too easy. We've come too far. We've been through too much. We've seen too much. We've had too many victories. We have seen defeat. We've looked defeat in the face, and we've overcome it. We've come too far to be negative now. We've come too far to start overthinking now. Once we hit that wall, we don't quit, we don't give up. We push a switch called will, and we start using our willpower. Yes, we tired. Yes, we're hungry. Yes, the mind is saying give up. Yes, it's saying quit. But we cannot quit because we realize we have not reached the goal yet. This is not what I dreamed about. This is not what I said I was going to do. This is not what it looks like.
Mentally, you must be there before you physically even start. It's a mindset.
that dream and success. I'm gonna meet, I'm gonna create. All I have to do is sweat for it, work for it, study for it, drive for it, believe in it. Never take no for an answer, and never give up. When the winds of life don't hit your sail, you grab oars of life. And you start pushing your body, your boat, your vessel into the harbor of a known point that you want to be. Those don't get you there. You gotta get yourself there, guys.
When you leave the crowd, you start to dream and express your best of world. You will be different, and people don't like it if you're different.
Every hero you guys had was called an idiot, crazy, a loser.
They will try to tear you down, and they will try to mock you.
When you get to that point of frustration, of anger, that is tremendous fuel for you to go out and do that you want to do. Your goal should be to become so successful in whatever it is that you're trying to do that all the people who said that you, those who look at the floor. One person with a belief overrides thousands of people with just intent.
The people that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have.
The spirit of resiliency, the spirit of grit, it's in your DNA, it's in your blood. Overcoming is in your blood. Getting through adversity is in your blood. I need effort from you. I need you to match whatever effort the enemy is putting up. Whoever your enemy is, match the doggone effort. This is what you do. You are built for this.
The reason most people fail is because they give up what they want most for what they want now. That thing that's holding you back, that thing that's dragging you down, that thing is you.
It's you. Nobody else. The only person that gets in your way is you.
You know, the war that you have to really fight is the war against yourself. It's not easy to look in the mirror and to change your own life. It's hard as hell. You have to take responsibility. You have to learn new things. You have to feel uncomfortable.
The thing I value more than anything is me being to look myself in the mirror and say, hey bro, you gave it everything you got today. I can live with that. But the thing that would be extremely difficult for me is for me to go out and compete and I know I didn't give everything I had. That's a problem for me.
And that's why so few people achieve great things, because they don't want to sacrifice, they don't want to discipline for some greater. So you see all these people that have great things in life that you look up to, it's because they were sacrificed and disciplined long before you ever knew them.
Hard work and making good choices will always position you in life to win. If you're cutting corners, if you're taking shortcuts, you're not robbing anybody else but you.
I can tell you it's hard to get off the couch and take that one step towards greatness. I can tell you how hard that is. I can also tell you how hard it is, 10 times harder, looking back on your life as time expires, knowing you could have been great when you didn't get off the couch because it seemed hard and now you can't do anything about it. I can tell you how the worst failure in life isn't the person that fell down, it's the person that never got up to try.
Hard work works, and you know what's great about our culture, y'all? The world's lazy. It's a good thing for you and me. Nobody wants to do it. Everybody will talk about it, everybody will post about it, but nobody wants to roll up their sleeves and just go get it.
Those long guard days, those hard practices, I'm exhausted, man. I'm tired, man. I'm dead, man. Yeah, that's process. And in process, what do we get? We learn who's committed. We learn this is what it takes to be a champion.
Some of you, you're gonna lose it all. You're gonna lose that house if you keep being average. You're gonna lose your family if you keep being average. You're gonna lose that job if you keep being average. You're going to lose it because nobody wants to be average. You will live in the reality that you build. You have to understand that every decision you make, you live with that decision. Every effort you put forth. If you put forth an average effort, you will live an average life. You will live in what you build. It's time to put your pieces together of your puzzle. I'll put mine together. I want to run my life because it's my life. I understood that the dream is real, but the lifestyle is real. You want the lifestyle, but you don't want to earn it. You gotta earn it. Some of what you want, some of what you trying to get ain't in the comfort zone. And so if what you want is not in the comfort zone, you got to come out of the comfort zone to get what you want. Why are you in school when you don't have to be in school? I want to live a phenomenal life. Why are you writing books when you don't have to write books? I want to live a phenomenal life. You're building it. Every decision you make, you're building it. Every shortcut you take, you are destroying it. Every corner you cut, you're tearing it down. It's your life. You're going to have to live in it. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a product of your effort. You are the sum total of the decisions that you made and the effort that you put forth. So if you do not like what you see, if you do not like where you're going, do something about it. When it comes to our effort, the energy that we put forth, the way we go at the day, the way we handle the day, the time we wake up, the time we go to sleep, you are going to be intentional, you're going to be deliberate, you're going to be strategic. That means that there's not a day that's going to go by, there's not an hour that's going to go by, there's not a minute that's not going to go by that is not accounted for. Push through pain enough, and there's glory on the other side of it. But you gotta get through it. You need to work an hour longer. You need to run just a little faster. You need to put 5 more pounds on the rack. That's the effort you need to be great. That's the sacrifice that you have to put in order for you to get to the next level that you need to be at. And your grind has to match your dream. I need you to pick your grind up. There's nothing wrong with your dream. You have a great dream with a little grind. There's nothing wrong with the opportunity. You're not giving 120. You're giving 70. You're giving 60. You're giving 50. And you want what these people who's giving sweat, who's giving blood, who's giving tears, you want what they paid for, and it ain't free.
These little tests, the little tiny details of life, makes that dream a possibility. You see what pushing through that is, facing it, meeting it head on, that fear, that pain, whatever else, how you can beat it back. You've done it here day in, day out, and you don't fall down. If you fall down, get back up and keep getting back up.
That's what we do when we put forth 120. That other stuff, I don't know who that is, but that ain't us. This ain't for the weak and the uncommitted. Sometimes it's gonna hurt, sometimes it's gonna be painful, but if you want it, you gotta go get it. You gotta play hard for it. Yep, it's difficult. Why? Because the process is weeding out the weak.
You're the master of your life. You're not the servant anymore. You are running the day. The day is not running you. That is freedom, guys.
I dare you to try it for 30 days. I dare you to go to school, sit up front, shut up, do your homework, do the test, and show them what you're really working with. And it's time for you to act like you got some sense and make it happen.